Hi, my name is Mike Wada and welcome to Radical Academy. In this video, we'll be now looking at vectors. So this is a topic that should be covered in grade 11 of your work. So if you have not done vectors, I would actually encourage you to pay so much attention to this video, and probably you will be able to understand some of the key concepts that that you're required to understand under vectors. So I'll try as much as possible to ensure and be able to explain to the to the level which you'll be able to understand what a vector is, and in general anything that you're supposed to know under vectors. Okay, so please, if you are new to this channel, please don't forget to smash the like button and also like this video so that you can be able to receive any kind of an update that you'll be able to upload on this content, on this channel. So without much further ado, let's now get started. Okay, so this is a topic in grade 11. So I believe if you're in grade 11 and 12 and you have not covered this kind of this topic, please pay attention to this topic so that you should be able to get some of the key concepts under vectors. Okay, so now we will be, vectors are very cardinal in as much as we talk about vector quantity, scalar quantity also. Those are some of the descriptive of a physical quantities such as a force, displacement, and even some kind of numerical measurement. Okay, so now without just wasting much of our time, let's now look at what is a vector. Okay, so now you can see the definition over there that a vector is a directed line segment. Okay, that's just the simplest definition of a vector. Now, from that definition of the vector, we get so much of the concept that a vector can be, characterized by, can just say directed. It's a directed line segment. Okay, so meaning that a line that is drawn on a plain surface, on a piece of paper, or just anywhere, wherever, more especially on the graph paper. Okay, so that's a vector. Now, one of the key fundamentals of vectors, or in understanding vectors, is that every vector, everything that you are referring to as a vector, must have a direction. Okay, and with that regard to direction, we mean so what we mean by that is that a vector can be moving in any kind of a direction. Okay, so we might talk about a positive direction. A vector is moving in the negative direction. Okay, so if you want to really comprehend, or rather just understand what a vector is in the much deeper sense, that we should now begin to see the vector being drawn on a piece of graph paper. Okay, and then that's when you can just begin to understand what is it that we're talking about. Okay, so normally vector is understood on the concept of if you understand the graph paper. Okay, as simple as that. So now, so I can have a simple graph like the OXY plane, or just Cartesian plane. Okay, so you can have let's say, for instance, we can have something like okay. So you can have a vector that is represented in terms of a coordinate. Okay, since we are dealing with a graph paper, then we can put these numbers on the graph and see how we can just begin now to visualize everything about vectors. Okay, so just stick around as we see how we can just put this one on the graph paper. So now, as we know that this is a coordinate, okay, whatever we put now on the graph paper is this one is the first number. Whenever you've got a pair of numbers, okay, the first number is a representation of the x value, okay, and then the y number, the second number in these in that pair is you know, the representation of y value. So this one and then that one. Okay. So now we can now put these two numbers in a graph paper. Say x somewhere there, then y somewhere there. So now when you are plotting the numbers, or rather the coordinate, so you can say 2, 3. So you have okay. So now we can have something like that, and then let me just say this is 2 and that is 10. Okay. So a vector can start from O, which we can just say let me just say O. Okay. So let me just say, for the sake of understanding, we can just say OB, then that's 2, 3, and then we can have something like that, and then the direction is coming from O going to point B. So that's what vectors are just all about. So there's nothing that is very difficult about vectors. All you've got to understand is that a vector can be represented in different forms, which we shall actually look at it just in a minute. So this is, I just want you to visualize that vectors can be done in that form. Vectors can be, you know, represented using small letters where you underline. Vectors can also, you know, represented using a capital letter where you just put an arrow on top of the letters. Also, you can use vectors. Vectors can be represented in component form, like those of the matrices, and you know, just in rows and column, and just like that. Okay, so as we now begin to explore how you can present vectors in various forms, let us now see how we can do that. Okay.